Have you ever wanted to just build something with your own hands that gives you an artistic opportunity for production design where you can really be creative and create something totally new? Last year, as I was developing a few indie film projects, I realized that I could really use one of these walls, just like this. And as I was looking online, I was having trouble finding an exact plan for what I wanted. I knew that I needed a wall that was gonna be 8 feet by 8 feet. I wanted it to be on casters so I could move it around. And I also wanted it to be drywall because I wanted to be able to paint it. In this case, I've distressed it because that was kind of what I was going for with that scene, but you can always paint it and change it. Something that would be versatile for headshots or photography. You could hang things off it. You can also use it to divide the room. Just a lot of different opportunities. If you're in a studio space, sometimes you just need a wall. You want to build a set. So that was what I was going for when I started this. The great thing about this is you don't need a lot of tools. You kind of need the basics, obviously a saw, a drill, some basic measuring tools, but this is a very basic build. It's really just 2x4s, some casters, some drywall, some paint. So now I'm gonna kick into the little vlog that I was putting together last summer. I was recording a bunch of this, but stick around to the end where I will give you the full cut list as well as the shopping list you need to build this wall for yourself if you wanna put together a movable 8-foot wall in your studio. So today I'm headed to the studio. I'm about to build two 4x8 walls. I'm working on a new film and we're gonna build a little set in the studio. So I have a plan. Ideally, afterwards, I'd like to be able to have these as movable walls that I can use in the studio. We'll show you the tools when we get in there, but you know, we've got the drills, we've got a miter saw, just the basics that we're gonna need to bring this thing to life. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let's get this stuff in the studio. We're in the studio. I got the drop cloth set up. We got some of the gear moved out of the way. I've laid down the assembly for the first wall. I got the drywall on top of it. I've started to do some cuts. You gotta make sure you secure this stuff because you don't wanna be getting dust all over the studio. So, all right, so now we're cutting the angled supports. These ones are a little easier. It's 45 and 45 on both sides. And we need 4 of them because each wall, basically, each wall is gonna have one on each corner at the top. So we're gonna cut 2 more of these and then I think it will be time to start assembling. So one of the things I've learned from doing carpentry before is that you want to pre-drill the hole with a bigger bit. I'm using number 9 3-inch construction screws. You can see right there how at the bottom it's threaded and the top it's not, and because the top piece is going to be holding the wood in place. So you don't want it huge. In this case, I'm not even sure what sizes I'm using, but a bigger one at first, and then once you hit the second piece of wood, I will switch to a smaller one like this that's a little bit smaller than the thread so it can bite, and use a little square, and you know, it's not perfect, but I think it'll be okay. So my camera died at one point and it looks like we might have lost a bit of the footage, but I'm gonna walk you through what I did to get to the final install. So I've got one wall that's up right now, and then I've got another one that's on the ground. And I don't know if this is the plan I would recommend. It does seem like it's been a success, but with some caveats. So let's take a look. So caveat right now is I have a counterweight on this thing because I do want to be able to roll it around. The drywall just was too heavy. Without the drywall, it was pretty stable. So the drywall is just screws every 12 inches all the way around. And then I did that, I kind of laid it all out while it was on the ground in the back. So the supports right here, these are the ones I showed you cutting. So it wasn't perfect, but on this side, this is 50 degrees, and then down here is 30 degrees. And obviously it's just a flat piece there. I got 4 casters ultimately on each one. I was trying to cheap out and find a way to do it with less, but it seemed like I needed them for the sake of stability. Actually, the casters are probably one of the more expensive parts of the build. You can see here on the floor, this is the second wall. So after I built the frame out, I created this back support. And here it's actually not installed yet because I have the drywall on and I'm gonna need a hand with this. So it's ready to go. So tomorrow I'm gonna have my assistant help me get this thing up, and we'll install this. And then, yeah, caveat, we're probably gonna need some kind of a counterweight system. All that to say, it was a pretty productive day. I got these two pretty much laid out and assembled, and tomorrow I am going to get them popped up and we will work on the finishing. Back in the studio for day 3, and the wall is kind of put together. I'm gonna walk in and show you, but today I'm gonna sand it, we're gonna paint it, and then I'm gonna hopefully get to the part where I'm distressing it if I have enough time today. So I didn't record everything in between. We've installed all the drywall, put it together, patched it with a little drywall seam, and it's not my finest work, so we need to definitely sand it. I'll walk in here now and take a look and show you what I got going on. So, yup. Going into the exclusion zone. Very nice. Got it cleared out. So, you know, it's a friggin' wall. But this right here, I always do this with drywall. And so we're gonna need to clean that up. So I've got my sander, I've got my mask, I got my goggles. I am not going to record this part because it's gonna throw up a lot of dust, but you get the idea. So we're gonna get into it, and then after that we'll do a little painting. So I guess we kicked up a little more dust than I hoped, which is okay. And the wall, let's see here. The wall, you know, it's not perfectly jointed, and so you see my joint paper, and it's, we're gonna paint it, you know, we're gonna distress it, so I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Ultimately, this wall will probably get separated into 2 walls. But for this short film that I'm working on, I want 1 wall, so that's what we're gonna do. You can see my sanding work, it's laughable. Probably better if I hadn't done it at all. You know, I'm okay if it looks a little dirty because it is supposed to be distressed, and I'm about to paint the first layer of this kind of off-white paint. This one I will record a time lapse of. So here I am, the finished wall behind me, beardless, you know, about 8 months later, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Truthfully, I'm a little terrified about what I'm gonna do with this thing when I leave the space, so I just try not to think about it. But I've put together a full list for you if you wanna learn how to do this. Hopefully your DIY project is a little smoother than mine, as I'm sure you saw in the video. At times it was all over the place, but you know, we got it done. So I'm including that shopping list, cut list, plan that I used to build this wall, linked in the description for free. And hey, if you don't mind subscribing, that would be great too.